And do you remember what you were doing on the day that the war ended?
Yeah, I'd finished flying, and I was. They'd posted me up to. After I'd done my second tour, they posted me up to Scotland as an instructor, and I didn't fancy it. And then they posted me down the post Blackpool. I was at Blackpool when the war finished. Being trained, being changed to another duty because they didn't want us no more in Bomber Command, and we had to do ground staff duties. And they said, "What was you?" I said, "I'm a tailor." They said, "We've got a job for you," and they put me in charge of about 20 WAFs on sewing machines down at Newmarket. That's how I finished the war. And they treated the aircrew, they treated bomber crews diabolical, absolutely. A lot of them lost their rank. They just said, "You're not a flight sergeant anymore. You're an AC2 or a LAC." I thought it was shocking. There you go. But they didn't. They couldn't do that with me because I had a DFC up, and I couldn't walk about with a DFC as a flight sergeant. So I was left as a warrant officer.
Why do you think Bomber Command were treated the way they were?
That I don't know. That I do not know. I can never understand it, and I never will. We won the war. We definitely won the war for Britain. We had losses were horrendous, and yet after the war they absolutely on us. Yeah, I think it was terrible. They treated us terrible. All the bomber crews were walking about after the war, doing menial jobs, sweeping up, driving vans, anything. They didn't know what to do with us. What they should have done was demolish straight away. Said, "All right, you're finished, go home." No, we had to wait another year, doing menial jobs. There you go. And they wouldn't give us a medal. Can you understand it?
Can I understand it?
Pardon?
Can I understand why they were treated that way?
Yeah. Can you understand why they never gave us a medal?
No.
The barbers got medals. The man who swept the roads got medals. The one who cleaned the toilets out, he got medals. Bomber Command got nothing. Never. I don't understand it. No, I don't know. We should have got a campaign medal. We never got one. Which was terrible. When you think of the men we lost. So all them men that lost in the war, all they've given them is that thin brass bar. That's all they've got. No medal. Terrible. Terrible.
And what do you think of the memorial we've got in Green Park?
That's brilliant. We made that ourselves. We made it. Not the government. We got no help at all from the government. I'll tell you what happened. I was in the office and we got £6.5 million collected. Easy. And who should walk in the office? It was two geezers from the VAT. They said, "We understand you got £6.5 million voluntary contributions." We said, "Yeah." They said, "1 million of that is VAT." And they took it there and then. They said, "We demand that you pay that." And we made such a fuss of it, and we got onto the Telegraph, and we got the £1 million back off the government as a gift. They gave us our own money back as a gift. I think it's disgraceful. And all the money was for a memorial, nothing else. And they took £1 million off us. There you are. That's the story.
But what do you think of the memorial itself?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Fantastic, yeah. And the Westminster Council said nobody will ever visit that memorial. It's the most sought after memorial in the whole of London. More people visit that than any other memorial or museum. And the council said they didn't want it. Didn't want no memorial for Bomber Command. Can you understand it? Yeah, so that's why we're so bitter.
Did you ever, during the war, did you ever feel any animosity towards Germany itself?
No, not really. No, not really. No. We just went out. We knew what we was doing of. But no, mostly. No, not really. We couldn't, could we? Really, it was over there and back. We had nothing against the Germans. But after the war, when we realised what they'd got up to, yeah, but not before. Not during the war, because we didn't know anything about the camps. We felt sorry for the Germans being bombed like they were, which we knew we was bombing. But we just carried on till the war finished. And that was it.
And how do you feel today about Germany?
Well, it's the same as us now, aren't they? No problem. They're not going to be aggressive no more, are they? We hope. What I've seen of the Germans, they're quite nice people, but there you are.
Did you lose quite a few friends during the war?
Huh?
I'm sorry to ask this, but did you lose quite a few friends?
All of them, yeah. All the friends, yeah. All the people you knew on Bomber and your squadron. By the time I'd left, they'd all gone. All got been killed or prisoner of war. Mostly killed. We took off one night. I think it was going to Essen. And we was up to 6,000 feet. And above us, no, underneath us, there was a huge explosion. 2 Lancasters, one from our squadron, one from 44 Squadron, hit head on with a full bomb load. And we was just above it. And we went up like a bleeding lift. Whoa. With our bomb load, right up we went. An enormous explosion. And the thing was, the most amazing thing, the pilot said, all right, set course for Essen. Just like that. And we could see what was happening below us. Yeah. But it happened a lot over Germany, collisions. Can you imagine pitch darkness, 500 or 600 bombers in an area of about 10 minutes, all ducking and diving about in pitch darkness. It had to happen, didn't it? Yeah.
Did night fighters ever make head-on attacks on a bomber?
Never made that. That's why I don't understand why they put a front turret in the Lancaster, because it's useless. They never made a head-on attack because the 2 speeds together was too fast. So, especially at night time as well. They used to come from port quarter, starboard quarter, or dead astern. Of course, once they got the up and under, that was it. The up and under. Schlager music. Berlin, for instance. Look at them in 6 weeks, I think we lost over 900 bombers over Berlin. Yeah. Essen, Dusseldorf, Duisburg, Mannheim, Hamburg, and we lost thousands.
And have you visited Germany recently?
Yeah, I was there last year. I went to Essen, and in Essen, there's a building there. There's a huge mark. What do you call it? Big, huge photograph, about as long as this room, on a building, and it shows you Essen after the war. Every building was flat. As far as you could see, was flat, except one building, the synagogue. Never got touched. And it's still there now. It's a museum now. And it wasn't touched. But every building in Essen was blown down except that one. Incredible.
How did you actually feel when you heard the war was over?
Didn't make no difference to me. I was a youngster and I was only 21 when the war finished. Didn't make no difference to me. Just the war was over and that was it. Let's get out. And of course, when I got out, I had a wife and a kid and nowhere to live. Nowhere to live. I had to go and live with the in-laws for a year or so, which was bleeding terrible. There you are. And the few bob they gave us, and the terrible the mob suits they gave was shocking. Because I was a tailor and I said, what's this bloody rubbish they're giving us? Yeah. I know I'm a bit cynical, but there you are.
Is there anything else that you want to add about your time in Bomber Command which you feel is very important?
Yeah, there's one very important thing. I survived. I survived. And I mean I survived. The amount of blokes I see get the chop was unbelievable. The whole squadron, you'd lose a whole squadron in about 3 or 4 weeks. Complete squadron. And it'd be renewed in new lanks, new crews. Faces got younger. And we carried on. In fact, people used to come in the crew room and see us and look at us and say, "Have you done all those amount of trips?" We say, "Yeah." Yeah. And we survived. And I took the place of a rear gunner who got killed. And I took his place and I carried on. He was only 20. Robinson, his name was. I took his place and I survived. Well, we lost, I'll tell you what, that squadron was our number 9 squadron. We lost 1,100 men killed. 1,100 men. There was just one squadron. And there was only 7 men in the crew. 14 aircraft on the squadron. You imagine the slaughter.
And how do you feel today about your wartime service?
Not all that. All I know is I killed many people. But so I went to Auschwitz and that changed my view. Before I had a guilty conscience of it because I knew I'd killed many people. But when I went to Auschwitz and see what was going on myself, that was it. Finished. It was terrible. You've been to Auschwitz, haven't you?
No.
You want to go there? You'll come out a different man, I tell you.
I have, however, watched plenty of footage of all the camps when they were liberated.
You want to go there? Terrible. What have they done to those poor Jews? Oh. Babies, children, women. And we would have been the next one on the list if they'd got over here. The Dutch suffered enough, I tell you. They really suffered, the Dutch. And they're more or less Germans, and they suffered terrible.
Another slightly question from earlier on. Did you ever have to go into air raid shelters during the bombing?
Yeah, I never went in an air raid shelter. We lived in a block of flats that was on the ground floor. And my mother and father said, we were all right there, we were on the bottom floor of the flats, which really was ridiculous because some of those flats we blew up during the war, they blew the whole lot up. But I never went in air raid. A lot of people went in air raid shelters. But the German bombing was nothing compared to what the British done. No comparison. No comparison whatsoever. We was dropping 4,000-pound bombs. Well, you know the cookie. Blast bomb is a blast bomb. It dropped. As it hit the ground, it exploded. The reason for it was to blow the roofs off the houses so the incendiaries had an easy entrance into the building, which did happen. That's why there were such huge fires. The roofs come off, then we dropped the incendiaries. And they went right through the buildings. It was a terrible war. Germans suffered terrible. How many women and children were killed, I do not know. Shame. There you are. There you go, we had to do it. We was told to do it, and that was it. And we got punished after the war for it.